T Radio V. Radio in TV. Radio in TV.
You're listening to and now watching Grand Theft Audio with Jake Belcher. Ladies and gentlemen, Jake Belcher. All right, everybody. How y'all doing? This is Jake Belcher. I appreciate you watching Grand Theft Audio. I have a new co-host with me this week. I'm super stoked to have him. He's replacing Brant. I'm not sure how long it's going to be till Brant comes back in here, but this is BB. Say hello to everybody, BB. Are you going to fall off that table right away? Yeah. You're a little dummy, aren't you?
You want me to move
Oh, you're going to fall over, sir. Yeah, he's just going to, do what he wants to do anyways. He'll chime in throughout the night. In fact, I'm just going to put him in his little base. Oh, hello, BB. All right. That hand you saw reaching in, that is my first guest this evening. She is the director of a new
comedy documentary called Perv.
Yeah.
And it's at the LA Comedy Festival tomorrow night at 7 o'clock at the Let Live Theater. Everyone come on down.
Very exciting.
Yeah.
That film stars longtime guest on the show, Lucky Deluxe.
Yes, Lucky Deluxe. Susanna Lee as Lucky Deluxe. And do you want to hear? Well, I'll let you continue if you want to.
Oh, sure. Well, my
this
audience.
Thing is crazy though. It's gotten to that point where you can't get people to do your podcast when you got to bring this up.
I just wanted to let everybody know that this is BB-8. He's like the star of the new Star Wars movie, and I've always wanted my own little droid, and I just got my own little droid, so I'm super excited.
Wow.
He actually does all sorts of cool things. I can have him play holographic messages like R2-D2.
Oh, really?
You remember how R2 played "Help me, Obi-Wan Kenobi, you're my only hope." I can do the same thing here with BB, and yeah, it's pretty dope. So I love me some BB. Hey, BB, go to sleep right now, okay? Go to sleep. Okay, yeah, relax.
Yeah.
So, anyways, we have Lucky's a long time. Oh no!
Oh, there he goes!
Oh no! Okay, hold on. We'll put BB in his home. Could you see that little cup thing sitting over there? Will you just kind of reach over and throw? Yeah, you sit there, BB, and be good.
I don't mean to speak out of school, but fuck BB.
Yeah, fuck BB. That wasn't very nice of BB at all.
I know.
I'm trying to put the shine on the perv, and BB's like, no, it should be about me.
Perv, stop.
Yeah. So perv, Lucky. So
Susanna Lee is Lucky Deluxe, and I actually had met Susanna 3 or 4 years ago, and I had photographed her. I do a lot of comedy photography as well as I'm a comedian. And then about 2 years later, she called me up and she's like, "Look, I am a sex worker on the side, and I am working at this peep show. It's the last actual working peep show in the Los Angeles area, and I have been interviewing comedians. Would you like to come and I give you a peep show and I interview you?" And I was like, "Fuck yeah, yes, I want to do that." So then what happened was they had done a series of them. But the person that was in control of keeping the data and, doing the GoPro and all that kind of stuff, she had lost a bunch of the data and a lot of it got corrupted. And then when Lucky was talking to me about it, I was like, you know what? Because she had an Indiegogo campaign to fund the series. I was like, let me fund it and let me direct it because this is just fascinating.
So that previous one, I remember when she shot that. So this is a different project than that?
No, it's the same one. It's a continuation.
Okay.
But the girl that had helped her in the beginning, had lost a bunch of footage. And look, it's overwhelming because it's a lot of content. And so when that happened, I was like, you know what, this is such a good idea. Don't get disheartened. Let's work on this together. I'll do this with you because I think this is fascinating.
Yeah, really cool idea.
Yeah, it's a great idea. I mean, and the thing that sucked is we had Margaret Cho. She had shot Margaret Cho, but and so much of it was corrupted and the sound was bad. And then the girl had placed the cameras in goofy places. But then I had done a couple of films before, so I came in and did all the stuff. And we got Paul Provenza, Felipe Esparza, Jimmy Schubert, like so many people, Laurie Kilmartin, a lot of comedians. So very excited about it.
I imagine that they're probably pretty easy to book. I mean, there's not a lot of comics I think that'd be like, no, I don't really want to see somebody.
No, you would be surprised.
Really?
So, yeah, Jimmy Pardo did it, and what was interesting about it? What's interesting about it is you think, oh, the people that are going to come in and just be so smooth because they've partied and got their history too, and then you would think, oh, those people have it down pat, and you could never like predict someone's reactions. Like some people would come in and they would be totally smooth about it, and other people would come in and they'd just be silly about it. But it became, after we did the web series, we had so much footage that was very profound because it became all about secrets and what is deviant behavior and this whole exploration of that, and so a lot of footage we didn't put in the web series because it didn't fit. It just wasn't that comedic. But then when I sat with a lot of the more serious footage, it was like, there needs to be more said about it. So it's more along that line of just exploring each other's secrets and
that sounds really interesting.
Yeah, it's really cool. It got into. I had just submitted it to the first festival, so it got in. So I was pretty excited.
Yeah. Congratulations again. When can people see it? If they're in the LA area here tomorrow?
Tomorrow at the Let Live Theater on Formosa Avenue, right by the Formosa Cafe behind it, sorta, and it's at the LA Comedy Fest at 7:00 tomorrow. I hope people come on down. You can look. I think they're on brown paper tickets, and you can get some tickets. It's $10 each at 7:00.
Wish you all the best of luck. So
Thank you.
So you will not be in studio tomorrow, then, probably, correct?
Right. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It's all.
You're making sure,
yeah,
So if you come back here to see her tomorrow night, because she also hosts on
the MILF Code with Susanna Brisk. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So won't get you then.
Yeah.
But,
Yeah.
Anyways, they shouldn't be watching that. They should be going out and checking the movie out, anyways.
That's what I say.
Yeah.
That's what I say.
I agree.
I know. It was such a fun show to film because she shows it all, and to kind of cut around that, and because if you keep showing titties and ass,
Sure,
after a while it's like whatever.
But she's
right.
a special performer. Like I've booked her for years on my live
Very
shows.
Very funny girl, yeah.
And she uses her burlesque to disarm people, and then she drops some good stuff all the time. She's a smart chick.
Very smart chick, very funny chick.
She's
very
great.
funny chick, yeah.
Huge fan of her. So
yeah, me too. Me too.
When you said on the air that you directed her, I'm like, holy shit, what a small little world this whole thing is.
Yeah. Just so happy to be part of the project for
well,
sure.
Thank you for coming in and telling our audience about it, and thank you very much. That's Felicia Michaels. Sitting next to Felicia, Benji Tucker. How you doing, Benji?
Good. How you doing?
Excellent. Let's make sure we talk as close as we can to that. Yeah, I want to make sure we get on that. So Benji is a new person here with us at Z Media, and we're talking the other day, and you kind of work with someone, you do things, you don't pay that much attention to what's going on, but Benji does one of the, I don't know, most manliest side things I've ever heard of. Justin, do you have any video of that? Can we throw this up just to show our audience what it is that Benji does? This is what you do, right? This is like what you do. So.
I wrote a little bit.
You did? Is this you?
Yeah, it's me.
Wow.
The red horse.
Wow.
So I walk into the our kitchen the other day, and there's this big fake steer in there, and I'm like, hey, who left this big fake steer in here? I couldn't figure it out at all because you don't really look like the cowboyin type.
Don't judge a book by its cover.
I try not to, but you work. You got to move through the world at some speed, and some speed sometimes says, hey, that guy doesn't look like a cowboy.
Yeah.
Because he has nice teeth. Why?
I don't know. Just where did you grow up? How did this become something in your life?
So, I'm based out of the Yakima Indian Reservation, Yakima, Washington. That's a rural place. It's an Indian reservation. Country. When I'm there, I wear cowboy boots and Wranglers every day. If I'm wearing a ball cap, it's a cowboy hat.
Well, that's better. Yeah.
Yeah.
Do that.
Hear better?
Yeah.
Sorry about that. All right. So I'm wearing a cowboy hat and Wranglers out there, and when I'm in the city, I feel like I have to blend in a little better, or else everyone will ask me, hey, you a cowboy? You ride a horse? What do you you wrestle steers? What kind of stuff you guys do out there? It's another world from here. So
yeah, for sure. I'm never gonna do that. I don't think I'm ever gonna ride a horse. I think the last time I rode a horse, I was 9, and it's probably never gonna happen.
Don't say ever. Don't say ever.
I just don't see it happening, man.
You might ride one with me. You never know.
You know what? You're right. now that you're in my circle of life in the world, it may happen, but I did not foresee that ever happening again, where being on a horse was going to be something that I thought was going to happen.
The chances of you riding a horse just went up like 75%.
Wow, pretty good.
Yeah, I'm actually looking for a place here to ship one of my horses down.
Now, is there any animosity between the world of horses that I know are the people who jump horses? They prance and they put on fancy pants and they drink tea and this is amazing. Do those people hang out with
How are you in this world? I just want to know.
I grew up in a rich town called La Cañada, and
really?
so a lot of my friends do that dressage, I think is what it's called. And I do not fit in there at all. So do they get along with the grab a steer by his feet people?
Sure. It's usually girls that do that sports, at least in my experience, people I've met.
Oh, I got some fancy lads who do it, but girls mainly do it.
Yeah. I mean, like polo. I play polo, and there's some fancy lads playing polo. Let me tell you, and jumping and all that stuff. It's just I guess it's regionally, culturally different. We don't do that kind of stuff. We rope and we use our ropes as tools. We have 2,500 head of Black Angus cattle that we try to wrangle.
So you really actually do push real animals around for a real purpose.
Yeah. We have cattle, and we brand twice a year. We calve.
You go out there and you put the iron in the fire and you.
Yeah, if the electric one's not working, we've had to go to the good old fashioned.
I guess I didn't think there was a lot of technological advancement in that area. They're just
like a curling iron.
Yeah, it just seems like if you got that thing that works in the fire, good enough. But innovation everywhere.
It gets. Technology is spread just about to every little nook and cranny of this world. We even have different tracking mechanisms for our herd. That you 5 years ago, 10 years ago, you would have never seen.
Interesting. Yeah, the world the world we're in is changing all the time. That's
true. You put one of those little with your dog, those identifiable little chips in a cattle.
Same thing.
Yeah,
same
right.
Thing. Yeah,
I got necklaces for my kitties that let me use my phone to GPS towards them, so it'll say 20 feet, 19 feet, 18 feet as you get closer. So.
Geez, as a woman, I'm gonna have to super inspect any jewelry I get.
Oh, sure, that's right. Hey,
that's
a darn good point.
Yeah, right.
Because now you can just track everybody everywhere. Yeah. Hey, we got to go to our first break of the show. We're gonna come back on the other side. We're gonna do what we always do here. We're gonna talk about holidays, things we're supposed to be celebrating, and things that we don't really want to celebrate. They're forced on us anyways. We'll see what that means. So come back on the other side and stick around. So thanks. Bye.
Cool.
What did you play opposite Andy, Eric? Do you remember?
Andy and I worked as two employees at a network.
Okay. Oh, you're forgetting the other thing.
I played a news anchor, and he played a reporter.
Okay, but the other thing you did, the thing you did on the Andy Dick show, who did you play to Andy?
Oh, is that going to play my sister?
You played his wife, Denise.
Yeah.
Yeah, you played his wife.
Yeah. So what's wrong with that, Eliza?
Nothing's wrong with it.
He's got a great range as an actor.
Yeah, it just was funny.
Encounters with Eric and Eliza Roberts, Wednesdays from 2 to 4 p.m. on T Radio V.
Hey, I'm Dean Kane, and you are watching T Radio V. I'm watching it too. Right now. Seriously.
Andy D on T Radio V. Bing, bang, bing, boom, right?
Yeah.
Andy D on T Radio V. Bobbity, bibbity, bobbity, boo. Andy D on T Radio V.
The Andy Andy Dick Show, Wednesdays from 4 to 6 p.m. on T Radio V.
Wow!
So
But
Paul,
we'll do it better when the show actually starts.
Yeah, no.
Hey, hello, this is David Faustino, and you are watching T Radio V. Do you see what I'm saying? It's television crossed with radio. It's all together. It's weird. Radio's in the middle of it. It's amazing. You're watching it. Go.
Love and marriage, love and marriage.
Hey, my fellow thoughters out there. I'm Charles Shaughnessy. Check out my new show, Here's a Thought, with Charles Shaughnessy, August the 7th, 3 p.m. PST, right here on T Radio V. Now, you know I have a lot to say, but I want to hear what you have to say. So tune in, grab your phones, call me, tweet me, email me in the studio, and let's get this conversation going. Here's a Thought, starting August the 7th, 3 p.m. PST, right here on T Radio V. That's radio in TV.
After she has one drink, just one drink, she will spill the beans on everybody. You ever have a friend like that? One fucking drink and they fucking blab everything, you know? And you always gotta have a friend like that in your back pocket, you know? And my friend one day is like, we had drinks the other day, she's like, Kalia, when Kalia was 22, she loved this guy so much she tattooed his name above her vagina. That's pretty fucking awesome. To tattoo a guy's name above your vagina. That's fucking crazy, right? The only thing I would ever tattoo above my vagina would be instructions. Little lip, little lip, little lip, big lip. Circle to the right, 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 goddamn, circle to the right. Then bite down gently. You like me now, don't you? Before you weren't too sure, but now you're like, oh shit. Other bitches like that too. That's right.
Let's see, then bite down gently. All right.
Yeah, there you go. There you
we
go.
are a learning experience here at Grand Theft Audio. Yeah.
I look at that and I'm like, wow, I should do my hair darker again. It was pretty dark, my hair.
It was a little darker than it is now.
Yes,
That's
it
true.
was. Yes, it was.
You've been doing it a while.
Yes, I have. Yes, I have. Off and on. I had a very good chunk of comedy in the beginning of my career for a good 15 years. And then I got married and had kids. And now that I'm divorced, I'm back at comedy again.
Yeah, that's a rough one. I mean, as a mom, you have to make a decision, kind of like what you're going to do.
Right. And when my kids were just born and very little, from me, when I became a mother, I had this need to think that everything in the world was just lovely because I have children now, you know what I mean? And then when they hit about 6th grade, you're like, fuck these assholes. I got to get back in.
Sure.
So that's what it was.
And I think at some point you also realize that they won't be there forever. You know?
Well, they'll be there for a long time.
I guess you...
But yeah. It's...
Or as dependent forever, hopefully?
Right. Oh, no, of course you don't want them to be dependent and all. You want them to be able to move on. But now I have all my friends who have kids that are older than my kids, and they're like, they never leave. Well, you left, so there's hope, right?
It happens.
It happens, yeah.
Yeah, that happens. All right, so, hey, we do the same thing here on Grand Theft Audio every week. We look at holidays.
Yes.
We love holidays. This is, obviously, Thanksgiving. We think of, like, November. Like, that is the holiday for November.
Right.
But there's a bunch of other like weird things that we are asked to celebrate now also. Like Congress makes all these holidays and like most of them are really asinine. See what else we got going on right now. We have National Manatee Awareness Month.
Oh, that's a good one. That's a big one.
Is that November?
It's November.
Oh, wow.
I know. It sneaks up on you.
Yeah.
You know, all year long. You're like,
I did
really.
not know that.
Yeah.
I have a lot of presents to buy.
They're one of the ugliest animals ever.
Really?
Yeah, they're pretty gross.
Kind of cute, actually.
Yeah.
Okay, well, what could possibly be cute about a manatee? Look at that thing.
Oh, look at his little nose.
I don't know, man. Maybe I'm just not an animal person. You like animals, right?
Love them. Oh yeah. Look at that.
Look at the difference. That's a seal, though. That's not a manatee. Is that a manatee?
That's a manatee.
How come the face looks so different?
Well, I think
it's female. He knows what a female manatee looks like. You are such an interesting fella.
Could you rope that? Could you get in the sea on like a seahorse and be like, I gotcha.
Easily. And I just need a saddle to dally off on.
Super important.
Yeah.
Super important.
Yeah.
See what else we have this month. This month is also National Memoir Writing Month.
Okay.
Wow.
So, comedy is memoiric. Memoirish. You just did a one-woman show.
That was very memoirish. Is that really a word, memoirish?
It is now.
Yeah.
Memorian.
Yeah. Yeah. So, it was a fun. I did a one-woman show. It was my first one ever. It was frightening, but it was fun too, just to say a bunch of terrible shit that doesn't have a place in your act.
Right. So this is different than doing comedy. Like this is you have some stories.
You have stories, and for me, my story is I got into comedy because I was a stripper when I was 18, and I had been married to a young GI who was very abusive, and so I left the situation and became a stripper, and then got into comedy because I met the first night ever that I did a wet T-shirt contest. That's how I got in. I met this comic at a wet T-shirt contest. This was a long time ago, and he had like a members only jacket and the first motherfucking mullet I'd ever seen.
Yeah.
And a skinny tie, and I was all like, wow, comedian, wow.
Do you still know who this comedian is? Like, are they still an active person?
He not so much doing stand up, but some in the behind the scenes. Yeah.
All right. Let's see what else we got. We got National Peanut Butter Lovers Month. Do either one of you enjoy peanut butter?
Love it. Peanut butter is great on protein.
Sure.
Yeah, great snack, late night snack.
Always good for you. Like
celery, apples.
Celery's a good combo. Like that's a nice one. But the one I always want is chocolate. I mean, I always want the Reese's peanut butter, chocolate and peanut butter. That's delicious.
Yeah, you like that. Do you like Nutella?
I've never tried it.
Yeah.
It's actually become a bone of contention for the last 20 years with my wife and I.
Why?
I've been with her for 20 years. But anyways, like because I just kind of refuse to try it. It's more spite than anything right now.
Wow.
You know how you're with someone long enough that like spite is a reasonable answer for anything?
Right.
Well, I am not trying Nutella.
You know what? I totally understand that because when I was married, and I love sushi, but I never liked the look of spicy tuna.
Mm-hmm.
And he would always be like, "You should try this spicy tuna," and it was just because I didn't want to fucking try the spicy tuna because of him, and I would never try it. As soon as we got divorced, I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna chow on some spicy tuna.
Well, I hope
what is that about?
I'll try Nutella before I get divorced,
Yeah,
but
try
I don't
it.
want it to happen just to try Nutella.
Yeah.
But sometimes I do feel close to breaking down. Like
Yeah.
everybody says how good it is, and I'm like, oh, like
It's pretty sweet, but it's good. Yeah.
totally.
Congratulations on the 20 years, by the way.
Oh,
Yeah.
no, we've been married for 5 officially, like
20 years.
this last week.
That's a better
20
number.
years.
That's a better, bigger 2 decades.
Yeah, it's a
20
long
years.
time.
Yeah.
we've been together.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Weekly holidays. So that's our monthlies. Like there's a shitload ton of other monthlies, but there's not enough time to look at them all. Weeklies, we have a couple of them. This is International Fraud Awareness Week.
Sweet.
Wow.
I'm a huge fan.
I didn't know that.
I love getting that Nigerian prince letter or those types of things because I'm just loony enough to write back a wildly bullshittical like response where I try to trick them into my stuff,
Right.
I'm that person that when they get that telemarketer call at dinner, like I want to ruin their dinner before we hang up.
Right.
So I love these types of things.
150,000, but I only need 10,000 to get it over.
Sure.
I have a better idea. I have a PayPal account. You can get the 150,000 over, but I only charge you 5,000.
That's a deal. I mean, you should take that out there, people.
Yeah, that's a steal. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that fraud is obviously terrible. The fraud that makes me the saddest is like senior citizen fraud, like where they take advantage of like an 80-year-old person who's like, I shouldn't have answered.
Right. I just tried to get frauded because of my film from the colorist who he color corrected the film and he didn't do what he said he was going to do. and he only did like 25% of what he said he was going to do. And then he tried to charge me way more money. I had to go and steal my hard drives back. But it was that he looked at me and saw, oh, blonde, chick or whatever, so I'm going to bust her balls on that. So I understand where you would say you would get so mad about people that take advantage of older people.
Yeah.
But when people look at other people and they're like, that person's a
Victim,
victim,
I'm
I'm going to get them, that pisses me off beyond
Predator.
Yeah, it's crazy.
And it seems like that's all some people do.
Yes, yes.
All they can do is trick and bullshit, so that's terrible.
Greasing it, yeah.
Hey, we have a bunch more holidays to finish, but we got another commercial break we have to get to. So learn about Andy Dick or Charles Shaughnessy or something like that. And we'll be back on this side here on T Radio V with Jake Belcher, Benji Tucker, and Felicia Michaels. So come on back.
Then it does you so much good. Feel so good.
Hi, I'm Moby, and you're watching T Radio V.
Yo, what's up, everybody out there? This is Crazy Bone.
I am the bum Keith G.
And right now, you watching TRadioV.com.
TV in radio.
Yes, radio and TV.
Oh, yeah. See?
Okay.
Yeah.
Hi, I'm Rob Hubel from Welcome to the Jungle. You're watching T Radio V, aren't you? Radio on TV. Terrible idea.
In TV.
You shut up. Use that one.
Hi, I'm Sheriff John Bonnell. You're watching T Radio. Radio and TV? What? Why are you asking me to do this after 12 drinks?
Hi, we're Marissa and Juliana Stove, the Stove Twins, and you're watching T Radio V. That's radio in TV.
Hi, I'm Moby, and you're watching T Radio V.
Hey, what's up? This is Josh Vietti, and you're watching T Radio V.
Hey, what's up? I am Scott. And I am Ken. We're not the Chemical Brothers, but we are the Crystal Method. And you are watching T Radio V.
All right, we're back here on Grand Theft Audio Radio again. That was Felicia Michaels.
Yes, talking about vibrators.
Yeah, is your are you considered a dirtier comic? Like, what percentage of your stuff do you think is like dirty and titillating and clean?
Yeah, well, the thing is, for me, like I in the beginning of my career was one of the filthiest girl comics that worked, and then when I came back and everyone was kind of filthy. And then it's like, I remember one time when I first came back to comedy after taking it, because I took like 9 years off, and I was at some open mic, and some girl came up to me and she's like, "Oh my God, I love you. Your comedy totally inspired me to talk about being dirty and sex and all this kind of stuff." And then she got on stage and did the filthiest fucking material that had no punchline, and I was all like, "Oh shit, I have done everyone a disservice."
What did I spawn?
I know. I was totally like, "Oh no." But now I do a lot of political comedy along with dirty stuff. It's actually been fun to go away from if you have a career solidly in something and then to leave it and come back to it. Because when I came back to it 9 years later, I was able to be a different person, because you are a different person, but a different comedian. And I was able to explore things, about being a mom and a political agenda and all that kind of stuff.
So you had more life experience than telling people what it was like hanging out in a mall all day.
Right. Because I did get into comedy through being a stripper, and I was a regular at the Comedy Store at the age of 21, and this is all when Sam Kinison was all up in there and kind of craziness, that I didn't have anything as a 21-year-old in common with an average aged audience of, let's say, 35. And so it became sex, because that was really the only thing we had in common. And at the age of 21, I just wasn't worldly enough to have these grandiose thoughts. I mean, I see young comics now, and I'm just like, wow, they're so fucking smart, because I would have never thought to talk about that when I was 21, like politics, or talk about, where we're going as a society, or any of that at the age of 21. I just
what the hell do you know at the age of 21 anyways?
I know about fucking and sucking, and that's what I talked about.
I can totally dig that. Hey, we got some holidays we're going to get back to, and we'll come back and get into some more current events. We do some holidays. All right, this is one of those like congressional things where like this is National Rodent Awareness Month.
Sweet.
Really?
Week. Sorry, Rodent Awareness Week. They decided that only a week's worth was fine on this one.
Yeah.
Rodents are grody. Like I'm not a fan of any of those things. I've never had I never had a hamster. I never had
you never had a mouse?
Never had a mouse or a rat, or I have some pictures of some absolutely terrible looking rodents that if we're gonna be aware of them, let's not just be aware of Ratatouille. Okay, it's not all happy little rodents. Like
I'm glad it's just awareness week.
Okay, it's not just
cute.
Right. I mean, that's adorable. I would take one of those. I would take that. A squirrel. Squirrels are rodents. You don't think about that, but they're rodents too. And I like him. Oh, he's got nuts in his mouth. Anything with nuts in its mouth.
He looks like he's having.
It's appealing.
That just is.
Yeah. And this is.
Oh.
That's a bullying. That's a form of rodent bullying.
Yeah, I know.
I don't know what that is.
Wow. That's like a
Australian
kangaroo mouse.
Yep.
No, I think
it is. I think it is. Yeah, I think it
Justin in the boardroom is saying yes, that is correct.
Yeah.
Oh, good one.
Oh, really? I made that up. All right. Oh.
Okay.
Wow.
They'll bite you too. So
yeah, that's pretty disgusting.
He has a chipped tooth. If you look real closely.
He probably bit something that was not really meant to be bitten into.
He looks a little rabid.
Yeah.
Oh.
That's a dog.
I don't think so, man. Like, it had the name of some South African rodent on it.
It looks like some kind of bat situation.
Yeah, it looks like it could be a.
All I know is I don't want to run into it and play with that thing.
Yeah.
Gross. All right. Okay. So that's the weeklies we got.
Is that a vole?
A mole.
That is a hairless rat. A hairless mole. I don't know, man. All I know is that it's
that
yucko.
Looks like my date last night.
Just jam some couple sliced pieces of rice in the tip of it, those are your long grain rice.
Relax over there in the control room. He was just like, what?
What? All right, dailies.
Put it together.
We're here on November 18th, so we have a couple of dailies to celebrate too. This is Push Button Phone Day.
Get out of town.
Name that because the push button phone was introduced on November 18th, 1963. So we're
really in 1963.
Yeah,
really?
so we've only had push button phones for 52 years or something. That seems pretty fast and quick, and that happens also. What else we got? We also have today is National Married to a Scorpio Support Day.
Yes, and you do need support if you're married to Scorpio.
Yeah.
What do they say about Scorpios?
Oh, they're like they're like this. They're like more like a scorpion. Like they're gonna strike you and bite you and get you.
Or dark little creatures. Are you a Scorpio?
No, I'm a Leo. What about you're a Scorpio?
Scorpion, yeah. Ooh. I'm right on the cusp, actually.
So any of your exes, I don't say all, like there's dozens of them. Like they would need to take advantage of today.
Yes. Why not?
Got it. Today's also Mickey Mouse Day. is Mickey Mouse's
That
birthday.
makes sense since it's National Rat Week.
Those two go together. They go
Right,
together.
right.
Mickey would
Birthday,
be 87 years old today.
Wow.
Were
Still
you?
kicking.
Did you get to go to Disneyland when you were younger?
I went to Disneyland when I was, I think, 17.
That was the first time?
Yeah, that was the first time. And then many times since then, since I have children. And hopefully never again. I'll take a
You're done with it?
grandkid. I'm fucking done with Disneyland. I've
Yeah.
done it in every kind of way.
Yeah.
Make a reservation at the Californian, show up around 10, have some cocktails, throw your bags in there, go do it, come back, have dinner, have some more cocktails.
I'm like a
do the
10-year
fireworks.
pass holder.
You
I
are?
go all the time.
Really?
I love Disneyland. Like
There are people like you out there. I have
we're
this friend,
lunatics.
Mike Carano. He goes like every day, at least 3 times a week.
Yeah, we go a lot. It's not that high, but we go a lot. We love it.
What's the purpose of going so much?
Okay, so when we first started like going out together, my wife and I, we didn't really have a place that we could get away that was like, we didn't have like responsibilities and stuff, sick family and all this other stuff. But when you go to Disneyland, like everything kind of just goes away, and as opposed to like Universal City Walk or some other place like that, like where there's a lot of gang members walking around. It's a terrible fucking place. No one's gonna step on your shoes at Disneyland and be like, "Yo, Holmes, you stepped on my shoes."
I've never had that experience at Universal City
I
Walk.
have.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but
maybe you're just stepping on a lot of fucking shoes. Maybe it's just about that.
oh, fuck everyone else. I mean, like at least at Disneyland there's like a cover. So like,
Right.
It'll blow your mind if Mickey Mouse set tripped on you.
oh sure, man, that'd be. I do not want that to happen at all.
You stepped on my shoes. Oh shucks.
How about you, man? When was the first time you went to Disneyland?
First time I went to Disneyland.
I think you still got to be closer to the mic. yeah.
First time I went to Disneyland,
Yeah.
I was probably a baby. The most recent time I went to Disneyland, I took my little sisters about a year ago, a couple years ago now.
Yeah,
and I got to tell you, it's much more fun when you go with kids.
I am a kid, so like I believe it.
It's not
Maybe.
unbelievable. I mean,
That's what I'm
that
going
far
with.
out there.
Because
Yeah.
dude, I don't go with kids, man. Like that shit would drive me crazy. Like I don't want to have to go on like through Fantasyland and that stuff. I want to.
So what is it that you actually do at Disneyland that you love it so much?
I love running around Tom Sawyer's Island. And,
Oh, my goodness.
I'm not kidding. I'm like a kid.
No, I believe you 100%.
Yeah. Yep, that is what I do. So really, I love it, but it's a nightmare for my wife. Okay, we've got to rip through the rest of these holidays. See, today is National Apple Cider Day.
Right on.
Apple cider, delicious. Way better than apple juice. Apple juice can suck apple cider's dick.
Yeah.
This is also National
does.
Educational Support Professionals Day. So if you know any teachers, like pat them on the back and say, "It's almost over." You're coming up on Christmas break, so like you'll have a couple days off with them. Here's some other ones that we didn't get to do because they weren't on the 18th. Yesterday was National Unfriend Day on Facebook. There's a lot of social
Are
media.
you serious? There's a
Yes.
National Unfriend Day on Facebook?
Yes, so those people who weren't really your friends,
Wow.
get rid of them. You know, like
That's every day for me.
Yeah, as a comic and stuff, you must have a lot of friends that you don't really know. You know.
It's weird. I do have
Yeah,
some
yeah.
people that I don't know that, but by them being on my Facebook, I feel like I know them now. I definitely have people like that.
So that's
yeah,
work.
for sure.
Okay, I'm gonna just rip through the rest of these real quick. This weekend is American Made Matters Day, and that shit's true. If it says American Made, that does matter. It's Equal Opportunity Day, also meaning it's Gettysburg Address Day that happened in 1863. It's the Great American Smokeout, great to quit smoking. I'm now smoke-free since April 1st of this year. So
congratulations.
Thank you.
Great.
I'm also it's also Have a Bad Day. Like, don't feel any responsibility to those assholes who say, "Have a great day." Like, just be like, "Eat shit, motherfucker." Like, I'm going to do whatever the fuck I want. And last of all, it's World Toilet Day on Saturday. Let's all celebrate that we have a toilet to shit in, because 15% of the world's population, that means 1 billion people, shit outside. Like, they shit under a tree, they shit in a field, they have no toilet, they got nothing. That is 1 billion people on Earth today, so that's fucking crazy. We're going to come back on the other side. We're going to talk some current events. We got to get into Charlie Sheen and obligations to tell people what's going on in your lives and things like that. So Jake Belcher, Benji Tucker, Felicia Michaels. We'll be right back. Bye.
Radio V.
What did you play opposite Andy, Eric? Do you remember?
Andy and I worked as two employees at a network.
Okay. Oh, you're
And
forgetting the other thing.
I played a news anchor, and he played a reporter.
Okay, but the other thing you did, the thing you did on the Andy Dick show, who did you play to Andy?
Oh, is that going to play my sister?
You played his wife, Denise.
Yeah.
Yeah, you played his wife.
Yeah.
You
So
guys
what's
have
wrong with that, Eliza?
Nothing's wrong with it.
He's got a great range as an actor.
Yeah, it just was funny.
Encounters with Eric and Eliza Roberts, Wednesdays from 2 to 4 p.m. on T Radio V.
Andy D on T Radio V. Bing, bang, bing, boom, right?
Yeah.
Andy D on T Radio V. Bobbity, bibbity, bobbity, boo. Andy D on T Radio V.
The Andy Dick Show, Wednesdays from 4 to 6 p.m. on T Radio V.
Wow!
But we'll do it. We'll do it better when the show actually starts.
Hey, my fellow thoughters out there. I'm Charles Shaughnessy. Check out my new show, Here's a Thought, with Charles Shaughnessy, August the 7th, 3 p.m. PST, right here on T Radio V. Now, you know I have a lot to say, but I want to hear what you have to say. So tune in, grab your phones, call me, tweet me, email me in the studio, and let's get this conversation going. Here's a Thought, starting August the 7th, 3 p.m. PST, right here on T Radio V. That's radio in TV.
Nothing seems to matter.
What is that about? The man will whoop click. He will take a right. Men do that. Women not so much down there. No, maybe a boob, okay, but no. And a man always takes a picture the same way from the same angle, like low and up. You know, right? Right in front of something tall, like a fucking doorway or something. You know, like when you get it, you're gonna be like, oh fuck, he's as big as a door jamb. I'm gonna give you some of that. We don't do that. We, you know, because you can't, right? You can't there's just no way to translate the size of a vagina with a picture, you know, unless you do like what sellers on eBay do and photograph a penny next to it, you know.
No, yeah, a penny next to it. Okay, here's the thing.
Yeah.
I was thinking to myself, we'll just
Yeah.
hold up a penny next to it.
Yeah.
And then there it goes. Like,
there you go. There you go.
Truth. Okay, so you never know where conversations are going to lead us, but we left talking about toilets, and we've gotten into a conversation here about Chinese toilets and all sorts of other things. It's a rich subject.
Yes, it can be.
Yeah. Let us through the conversation. We need to record these things going on here, but we got to get into some current events going on. It was announced 2 days ago that one of the world's biggest lunatics, like the people that you look at, like, oh, who's a crazy person? Oh, that person is a crazy person. Announced that he's HIV positive in Charlie Sheen.
Yeah,
pretty
that's
surprising
crazy.
news.
Yeah. I mean, it's not surprising though if you're sleeping with a lot of women, doing a lot of drugs, you know. But it is. I'm sorry that he's experiencing that and having gone through that. That's terrible. But it's kind of crazy.
I mean, not only do we have the idea that maybe he didn't tell some of these ladies what was going on, but apparently he was also being blackmailed this entire time. So for the last 4 years, apparently what happened was a prostitute came over to have sex with him right after he got the news that he had got HIV positive, because he was he had it around the prostitute to the point that she was able to take a picture of it and then blackmail him for about $10 million over the last couple of years.
I don't mean to make light of it, but I'm not in the know of what prostitutes do. But if I was someone and I asked a prostitute to come to my room, one of the first things I would do is put my drugs away. You know what I mean?
Sure.
That would be one of the first things.
Their job is to fuck you for money.
Right.
She was a good prostitute.
Yeah.
She's been fucking him for money for years on just over a picture.
Yeah.
She knows what she's doing.
Yeah.
She was down.
But can you here's the thing that I don't get. It's like it's a terrible thing that he's experiencing that. But conversely, the fact that he was so manic and out of control with drugs, how can he say he did tell everybody? How can he say that?
Yeah.
I have 3 Cosmos, and I can't tell you what I told you the night before. You know what I mean?
Sure, and he was doing more than 3 Cosmos.
I'm sure,
Those
I'm sure.
video rants that he would go on.
Oh,
like,
of course. He was completely manic and out of control. So he can say, yeah, he didn't tell anyone, but do you believe someone like that if they are in that kind of a state? I don't know.
And what becomes... Are there laws on what you have to
There
tell
is a law
someone?
in California, not every state, but in the state of California, you have to tell someone if you're HIV positive. Absolutely.
Are there other things that you should have to tell people? Like, should you tell people that, you have mental illnesses, or that you have,
or that you hate mayonnaise on sandwiches? Like, what does it get like that?
And
that's
then,
important.
And then,
that's really important.
Yeah.
Sure, look, if you have sex and you say that was great, go make me a sandwich, and it comes back with mayonnaise on it, and you get the shit beaten out of you,
that's a deal killer.
Like, you should have known what the mayonnaise requirements were.
But what are the rules? Like, what do you have to tell people that you have? Like I had a boyfriend for a while that had gotten TB. He went to India and he had gotten something where he had to take a bunch of antibiotics, and then he told me about he wasn't like contagious, but he was a carrier, and I think it might have been TB or something like that.
I'd like to know that kind of information.
Yeah, but to me it was like, well, I have a concern about that, and he was like, what's the big deal? I'm not contagious or blah blah, and it's like, well, yeah, but I don't know. I need to know. That's not cool.
Yeah, so I think that hopefully, at least, you hope that every time something like this happens, that it opens up a discussion on things.
Mm-hmm.
So hopefully, like, this will open up a discussion on people getting themselves tested and making sure that if they know something is wrong with them, they actually tell people that something is wrong with them, and we can learn something from it, because otherwise it's just another terrible Hollywood story.
Well, it is absolutely something you can learn from, because today when they had on the Today Show, my kids and I always watch the news in the morning, but I made sure, hey, look at this. Do too many drugs, fuck too many chicks. Got to pay attention.
I'm pretty sure it was from sharing needles.
You think so?
Yeah,
he was with a lot of. He was with prostitutes.
Okay,
he's playing a little penis roulette.
Yeah, but he's playing it both ways, because apparently he was sleeping with men also.
Really?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Really?
That he was sleeping with male prostitutes as well. So.
Whoa.
Yeah, this story's going to expand more and more out, but it's true.
But how do you know? Who said that? Did he admit it?
I heard it last night on Dr. Drew talking about it on Loveline.
And Dr. Drew said he had information like that?
Yeah, so he wouldn't bring it up if it wasn't accurate,
Yeah.
So.
Wow.
This story's going to break more and more.
Right. I don't have a judgment against that, but
no, I don't have a judgment against
it's not
that,
about having a judgment against that. It's about what would like I said, if he was doing that much drugs, and it doesn't matter if he's doing drugs or not if he plays that way, but it sounds to me like he was pretty out of control in a lot of different ways. So how can his word be trusted? You know what I mean?
Well, it's going to be it's a huge story, obviously. Highest paid television star of all time, for him to.
Yeah, and then now he's complaining about not having it. Like, oh, they're taking the money away from my children. Dude, you got so much money.
Yeah.
You had so much money.
Insane
That's
amounts.
crazy.
Insane
Yeah.
amounts. All right, we're coming down here to the end of the show. We're down to the last 2 minutes. So, Benji, where can people learn more about you and that type of jazz?
Well, come on down to the studio. Sorry, come on down to the studio. I'm here every day, all day. We're just plugging along, trying to make some big things happen here in the near future.
Yeah, it hasn't been talked a lot about here on T Radio V. A couple of our other shows on Tuesday nights have talked about it, but we are launching a new product here, which is
Z420.tv. Check us out. We are live and some cool stuff on there.
Yep, they're up and streaming right now. John Sally is over there. You got.
Yes, nice.
Yeah, you got the Quick Fix guys. You got Crazy Bone Money B. A whole bunch of other people. Eric
Amir,
Roberts.
you got Eric Roberts, like you said. Yeah, we got some cool talent over there. And the guys are great. We're getting some cool stuff out of there.
And Felicia, where can people learn more about you?
You can find me on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at Felicia Michaels. And
Tomorrow night?
And tomorrow night you can come and see my documentary Perv, which is at the Let Live Theater on Formosa Avenue here in Hollywood at 7 o'clock. And I hope to see some faces out.
Hope they make it out there, too. As always, I appreciate you guys tuning in. We're going to be on a little bit of a different schedule for the holidays, though I do have my regular co-host coming back. I'm sorry, BB. You were fun tonight. I'm sorry I had to shut you down and stuff. You just were really annoying and you didn't do what I wanted you to do. So, fuck you, robot. But next week we do have back, fuck that robot. Next week I will have back Brant.
What did I
Thoman,
just
so,
witness?
Yeah. I broke up with my little blowjob machine or whatever. Like, because that's what those things are going to turn into eventually. Little sex droids,
Yeah.
What is it?
Her.
Her? Oh yeah, with Joaquin Phoenix when he falls in love with his. Yeah. Well, I'm not gonna fall in love with that man. Like, first of all, it's balls.
Yeah, I think I just witnessed it a little bit.
If there were some nipples on that thing, maybe I'd be like, okay, like it's a rolling titty. I'd be like, oh, hello, rolling titty. But no, it's just some balls. I gotta get rid of that. So this is Jake Belcher. I really appreciate my time here on T Radio V. We'll be back. Next week I have I have a really special guest next week. I don't want to say it because if it doesn't come through, then it's gonna feel real terrible. But he's a big star, and you guys are gonna like it. So follow me on like Instagram and Facebook and all that stuff. / Jake Belcher GTA for Grand Theft Audio. Bye everybody. Thanks for watching.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you.
You are watching T Radio V, Radio and TV.